Hey y'all, we have launched our very own merch on the Letters 2 Media merch store. We have a bunch of good looking t shirts and hoodies. If you want your own Haddonfield Horror merch, click on the link in the description.
What the hell's that?
Who gives a shit? Let's go.
Wait,
For what?
Just wait.
why is he out there?
Probably waiting to use ATM.
Why didn't he come in then?
Who cares? I'm freezing. Let's go.
Oh, just wait a second.
Welcome back to the Haddonfield Horrors podcast, where we review horror movies and horror franchises. I'm Mark.
I'm Tawan.
I'm Maria.
And today we're reviewing ATM, released in 2012. Directed by David Brooks, screenplay by Chris Sparling, story by Chris Sparling and Ron Type. Maria, can you give the people the plot summary?
After a party, David Hargrove gives a ride home to his colleagues Emily Brandt and Corey Thompson. Corey decides to have dinner and they go to an isolated ATM. Soon they end up in a desperate fight for their lives when they become trapped by an unknown man who kills a stranger just walking by.
So, ATM. Tawan, what were your initial thoughts when you were watching the movie and going through the motions?
When I was watching this movie, the only thought that crossed my mind was these people do not want to live. They really were not trying hard enough for me for them to want to live. And that was the only thing going through my mind because there were so many opportunities to get away or at least leave the area of the ATM, and they were not trying hard enough for me, and it was pissing me off the entire time. After a while, I was just rooting for them to die, to be honest, because they weren't trying hard enough to live, so I might as well root for the villain at this point.
Okay, so I want to ask you both a question. At any point, did you think, hey, they should try to team up and charge him all at once?
Literally, come on, he killed two people in front of y'all. He didn't show that he had a gun. Y'all knew the security didn't have a gun because it's regular security, not police. Bro, I don't know. Even if somebody got shot, it's still two of y'all at that point. If somebody got
One
shot,
person gets shot, but two people can still take him and get the other person to the hospital. Hopefully, because I was thinking, I was like, if the three of us was in this scenario, we gonna charge. I'm not just gonna sit my ass in this ATM and freeze to death and
And I think the part that pissed me off the most was when David ran to the car and they stayed inside the ATM area while he was getting chased.
While he was being attacked by the man, the other two should have ran out and pounced on the man. That was a perfect time.
That made no sense to me.
If he's distracted because he's attacking David, then Emily and Corey that would have been the prime opportunity to run out and attack him while he's attacking David, overpower him, and then the three of y'all can run y'all ass away. I don't understand.
But that's what got me because when they killed that guy who had came in, that one innocent guy who just came in, they all went for it and attacked him and killed him. You couldn't just do the same thing.
Literally,
you guys just.
They were not. They didn't want to. They didn't want to live. I don't know. They weren't trying hard enough for me.
But what about you, Maria? What were your initial thoughts?
Honestly, the movie is just kind of really basic. There was no focus. I feel and I agree, they were doing a lot of really dumb shit that I was just like, the fuck? I mean, it was just kind of stupid. I don't really like the setting of it either. The whole ATM thing. I also I feel like they could have done a lot more with the whole serial killer because he literally just comes, terrorizes them, kills them, leaves, and then you see him doing like planning something else, and it just leaves you like I don't know. It's definitely I feel like there's definitely a lot missing in like a lot of plot points missing in this movie. I feel like there's a lot of things they could
Definitely.
have done that would have made it so much better. Because like
Yeah.
because with David, I think his name, yeah, with David, his
Yeah.
fob wasn't working. That one guy's card wasn't working. Like, it just would have been cool if they would have been like, well, you kind of start to understand that, oh, like maybe these things aren't working because this guy, did it or something like that. Instead of making all these like coincidences happen, I guess, for them to just
Like if the ATM was damaged by him in order to
yeah,
trap someone inside of it.
yeah, exactly.
We also would have been great. Like we saw at the end, we saw that map of him mapping out his next target, whatever it was. If this movie was just like the opening 15 minutes, it would have been great. If
Oh,
this
you're
was like
right.
if this was like the opening 15 minutes of like and then we kick off another part, would have been good.
You're right. I didn't even think of that. Actually, I kind of like that. Like, start off with this, condense it down, and then show him planning a next one. That's actually kind of gas. I like that.
But you're right because I'm just like I'm thinking of it in terms of like a James Bond movie where like those old James Bond movies from like the 60s and 70s and 80s, pretty much all of them except for Daniel Craig, where the first like 15 20 minutes was like the pre-opening to the movie. And everything that happened in that opening was either not connected or connected to like the larger plot of the movie.
Yeah, like the
Or
cold
like
open.
like a cold open. Like even like with Scream, like that first kill sets you up for the rest of the movie, and it goes on long enough for you to establish who the killer is and his type of victims.
Yep.
Like in your words, Casey Becker was gas. But would I have wanted to see a whole movie with Casey Becker? No, she served a purpose to be killed off within the
Facts.
first 10 to 15 minutes. That's what makes it iconic.
And with this movie particularly, I think the one like part that I was annoyed with the most. Why did they park so far away from the ATM?
Right? Like fuck the serial killer. It's cold outside. One, two. It's dark and it's isolated. Three, someone can come walk up on you. You can be robbed. You could like they could
Literally, like
you
it
at the
made
eight.
no sense.
I'm just thinking like because we saw the map. He had so many places mapped that if we literally would have had the code opening, and then like I don't know, we didn't even gotta. We could just see him stalking people or like casing out locations, and then he like I don't even know. It could have been anything. Because I think the one thing I remember from this movie when I watched it the first time when I was like a kid was I want to see what he does next, what his next location was, because it seemed like he wasn't just staking out ATMs, but like all different kind of like isolated places, like bus stops. Like, could you imagine, because like some places have those heated
Yeah.
enclosed bus stops, like show me something, like just open up, like I don't know. What are your thoughts, Maria? You have any thoughts about anything?
What do you mean? I mean, it was just kind
I
of
mean,
like
because
it was like
well, because I was gonna say like this movie doesn't really have that many kills, and they weren't that interesting. So I was gonna cut the whole kills and favorite scenes part out since it was all kind of just like
to be honest, I think the
this.
only great kill that I thought was like even remotely shocking was I think when he killed the first guy with the crowbar, I think, right? Or he like beat him.
That was shocking for you because I saw that coming. Like once the dog walked up to like got loose, I knew that guy was gonna get killed.
I mean, I knew he was gonna get killed. I just thought it was brutal. I don't know. It kind of got to me, I guess. Like him just going up to this random man and just like beating him, and then everybody inside is just looking at it. Which, to be honest, if you see him beating on this person. I mean, I'm sorry, I would definitely be shocked too. But wouldn't that be a chance for you to run? Like,
Exactly. They were not
and there's
trying to live.
yeah, and there's three of them, so you all run in different directions. I'm like whoever like you
Whoever
all
gets
just
caught gets caught. I'm sorry.
yeah, like but at some but somebody's gonna make it. There's three of them. I don't
Someone's
know.
gonna get to help. Hopefully, you can get everything. But also, like that guy who they killed, they should have pulled a Saw, where you pull that guy in and he's injured, and you guys come up with a plan. You still kill Corey, but the other three get away, and the guy who they killed drives. I mean, then you find out, oh shit, he's the mastermind. The guy who was outside the whole time was just like his crony, but he's the real killer person, and this is just part of his whole trick. That would have been so much better.
Like I, like I don't know. It was just pissing me off like the whole time I was watching it because they there's so many things that could have been done, and obviously, like movies, the screenwriter wrote it a certain way, but the screenwriter wrote it in a dumb way. I feel like no, okay, I don't want to say no real people because there's some slow people out here, but I feel like no real people would like just wait there the way that they did to go through this whole situation. And I think that's what made me more mad with it. I was more interested in what the fucking like well they just credit him as the man, like the killer or whatever was doing as opposed to them because like they weren't trying hard enough for it. Like it was so many moments they could have all gotten away at the same time, and it's not like the door was locked. They showed multiple times that they could get through the door. Like it would have been different if like he like zip tied the door or something, so like blocked it off so they couldn't get in like out, like something like that. But like they had the opportunity to leave. That's why I was mad with it.
And I wanted to see him like do stuff because like he fixed the cameras in a way where he wouldn't be on them. Like show me him doing some technology stuff like you said, show me him like using like a cell phone jammer or like him doing something technological because like he fucked with the cameras. We're like, how did he do that? When did
I
he do
don't
that?
think he messed with the camera.
But actually, I think he knew where the cameras were,
Yeah, the
so he
blind spot. So
knew
he just like
he
that's
knew
why
the
he
blind.
stood outside the radius of it.
It just the thing is with this movie is that the entire time I watched it, I was thinking like 20 other ways the movie could have been better. Like we watched a bunch of bad movies, but yeah, ideas pop into my head. But I literally this entire time was like rewriting the script, was just like they should do this and do that. Like I was coming up with plot points because this movie has so much potential, but yet it does nothing at the same time.
I feel like that they set up it like it that this whole movie it feels like yeah, like I think somebody mentioned earlier, it feels like the beginning of a movie of someone getting killed, except they like made it over an hour and like 40 minutes or however long it was. This whole movie feels like a cold kill, and like that's it. Like this doesn't do anything else for me, to be honest.
I mean, because that's what this should have been. It should have been. You can still call it ATM. Open and you open with this. Let this be the first 15. I'll even give it 20 minutes. Give it the first 15, 20 minutes, and then you go off and do something else. But because the movie's called ATM, you have a subthing that think it's only going to be about this kill right here, these kills right here, and then you go off and you just have him doing other stuff. You see him picking his next mark. You see him, do it Michael Myers style, where we see him stalking someone, and then we don't really see the setup, but we know he's doing something, and then boom, he's found his next victims. He's stalking them. He gets, and we see him entrap them, and then he plays the game again. Like that would have been so much better. That also would have led it to like, because I just, I don't know. But let's get to the characters. And I'm going to start with Maria. Maria, what were your thoughts about David? No, 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 no. Maria, what are your thoughts about Corey?
To be honest, I kind of like Josh Peck in the movie. I thought I liked him better than I thought I was going to. Um, I mean, I don't know. They were all just kind of stupid in their own way. Like Corey was just out. I mean, because like that one scene where Corey and David were kind of going at it with each other, and then Corey was just not Corey. David was like, "Oh, it's your fault we even got here," blah blah blah, and then David's like, "You could have said no." Wait, no, Corey. Oh my god, I'm getting them mixed up. But Corey, Corey was like, "Well, you could have said no," but I don't know. It just, I mean, Corey, he was right. Like David, I don't know, David, not David. Jesus Christ, no, David. Yes, he was just a little bitch. Corey was just like an asshole, I guess, or I guess that's what they were trying to make him seem as. Um, but I mean, to be honest, I really, really, really do like Josh Peck as an actor. Um, but I don't know. Out of them, I guess he was also kind of not the smartest, but he was trying compared to like everyone else. I feel.
The whole movie is his fault. If he would have just went home and got one of those menus and ordered a pizza when he got home, he could have did that. He could have got it taken. He could have got it for delivery. You know, pull up the menu,
Yes.
call a number, get the delivery. Like you don't have to roll up right. If you're drunk, you don't have to roll up right now to go to the fucking pizza parlor. And if there's a pizza parlor open that's late, they don't want to see you there. Just leave them people alone. Like then David didn't even want him in the car to begin with. He couldn't take a fucking hint.
He was being the worst wingman because he was encouraging David to talk to this girl because she was leaving work, but was being the worst wingman when it came time for him to try to actually do something with the girl.
Well, go ahead, Twan. Tell us your thoughts about Corey.
Yeah, Corey was pissing me off and he was pissing me off because in the situation that they were in, yes, he was trying to like be the one like come up with something like what to do, blah 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 blah. But being like the abrasive one in situations like these is not like the right way to go about it. I know like you're like scared and not know what's gonna happen next. Like obviously it was cold outside, all that type of stuff, all that stuff adding up to make someone like irritated, annoyed. But he was being like, in my opinion, the annoying one in this situation. And even before that, like the lead up to everything, as like Maria mentioned earlier, in the movie, he couldn't take the hint that David did not want him to come with them in the car because he obviously wanted to like either try to hook up with Emily or whatever, or like just get closer to her so that like they could either go on an actual date, anything like that. But he was like messing that up and then like asking for the food, and also like once they got to the point where they were in the like the ATM and um he mentioned to David, he was like, you could have just said no, like when David was like basically saying, like, oh, this is your fault. Like we could have, if we didn't go stop for them so we could get pizza, like we could have kept going. And he was like, you could have just said no. And he was like, I did say no, like twice, which he did. He kept be like, but come on, man, let's go get the pizza. Like I'm hungry. I don't have any food at home. Like, bro, who problem is that? That's your problem. Like, go to sleep, eat sleep for dinner. I don't know. Like, it was kind of his fault because if they didn't stop at the ATM so they could go get pizza, they would have still been alive most likely. And there is there is just no point for it. His character is like pissing me off, and if I was in that situation, I probably would have popped his ass in the mouth.
Yeah, I was okay when he died. I was like, yeah, I'm glad you're out the movie. Like you're just, I don't know. He was like unnecessarily a douchebag. I'm just like,
Yeah,
he's that drunk friend you don't want to like be around. Like shut the fuck up. But
But it's Josh Peck.
I know he was still adorable while also pissing me off. I think this was the first thing I saw him in as like an adult that wasn't Drake and Josh, because I didn't see him. I because yeah, because Red Dawn comes out after this. So this is like the first like adult thing I saw him
I
in.
think that was the first adult thing I saw him in was Red Dawn.
Yeah, because I didn't see the whackness until like after I saw Red Dawn. Because the whackness is when he was like full on adopt role and he was having like sex scenes, and I was like, that was like 2 years before this came out, but I didn't see that until after I saw Red Dawn, which I didn't like because I don't like remakes. Because Patrick Swayze did it better. But let's move on to Emily. I will say, Emily dying, I didn't see coming until she got her ass up there. Like the moment that part happened, I was like, oh, she about to die, isn't she? Because I kind of thought she was gonna be like the tortured final girl. She was gonna be like traumatic, like traumatized, and they wasn't gonna believe her, and they were gonna try to spin like she killed the three guys in self defense because she's a woman and there was three dead men, so logically they were trying to attack her. That's where I thought it was going, and then she broke her neck. Very anticlimactic.
It didn't even look like I don't know. It didn't even look like that should have happened. I don't know. It was the angle that it was shot in. It looked like she put her hands out and it kind of saved her fall, but she still like died. I was like, oh, okay, she's actually
It
dead.
looked like she survived. Like,
Yeah, it looked like she survived to me, and I was like, oh wait, she's dead.
To be honest,
yeah,
that scene, like, it was such an inconvenience for him, I guess. Because it's like they were gonna survive, everything's cool, and his dumbass dropped her, and she hits the fuck. Like, I don't know, that scene just. Like, I laughed. I was like, no way, this is happening right now. Um, and I feel like if I was the killer standing outside, trying to scare them and watching them, and I see him do that shit, I'd be outside cracking up. Like, first of all, they killed an innocent man, and now you kill this girl that that he likes after just when they were about to get, saved, and I don't know. It was just funny.
yeah, I was like, why is she getting up there? I was like, yeah, this isn't gonna end well because she shouldn't be up there. Like something's just. I just knew it wasn't gonna end well. Like the setup and the execution. She didn't even look like I'm like that fall really killed her. Like she broke her neck. Like come on. Was she even that fucking high? Like what the hell was going on? Like could have been done better. And in my opinion, the actress wasn't even that strong. And I've seen her in other stuff, but like I feel like this movie let everyone down.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like this movie let everyone down, and it let her down because I didn't care about her. I didn't care about their office romance, and it's her last day at work. I didn't give a fuck. So, what about you, Tuan? What you think about Emily?
Yeah, I don't think. I, I mean, out of everybody, Emily was the person that probably pissed me off the least. Um, because to be honest, like it was mainly just David and Corey kind of like going back and forth, and Emily was like trying to try certain things, but they and like bringing up ideas like thinking like with the ATM to see like if they put the pin in reverse or something like that. I don't know. She was just even if it wasn't going to work, like she was just trying to do something, and I think she was the one who initially to use the pointed out to use the like sprinkler system, which now that I'm thinking about that, didn't Corey's character say he did not have a lighter when he had a lighter on him? Like, didn't they find the cigarettes and lighter on his body? Or was
Yeah,
that the. Okay.
which made me hate him even more. I'm just like, why are you being like this? Could have
Why.
helped.
Bro, like, now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, why did you. What was the point of lying about that? Like, see, like, he was pissing me off the entire time. Like there was no reason, but yeah, I would say out of everyone, I think Emily pissed me off the least. Like she was coming up with trying to come up with ideas to see what they could do, um, but nothing was really working, and that's unfortunate that she got in this situation. Which honestly, like my girl should have just got that cab and went home like she was planning on.
Like, cause the potential dick wasn't worth it, sis. She broke your neck. What about you, Maria? You have any more thoughts about Emily?
I mean, I feel like she was kind of useless. I mean, besides that whole, oh, let's see if this like pin thing works. She was just kind of like there. She was just kind of there to like roll the, roll the plot along, I guess. Um, Honestly, I feel like if it was just like Corey and David, I feel like it would have been fine. I'm sorry, except for that scene where she like hit her, where he broke her neck. I just I just can't believe he did that. I don't know. Um, but other than that, I don't know. She just wasn't really giving. Yeah, she was just kind of like, she was like I feel like for like a couple points in the movie, like I just kind of forgot she was there. To be honest, you know what I mean? Like she was just
Yeah,
kind
she
of
left
like
no impact.
no, but I guess no. I mean, she was just boring. Or I feel like they like I don't know why they had her character there besides the fact that I think they just wanted to do that one scene where she like hit her head and it was technically his fault and he was like, "Oh my," and then that's when he like kind of snapped and he was like, "Fuck this guy." And then he finally, I guess finally decided to do something about the guy outside. But like that like she was just kind of used as like a um I don't even know what that's called. Just like a like I guess like she was there for the other characters, not really for like herself.
What do you guys think about David?
I think okay when it came time that he ran to the car to go get the phone, I understand the guy was chasing him and everything, but why did he have to go into the purse and get the phone? Why couldn't he just snatch the purse and try to run back if he was gonna run back anyway? Like I don't know. Like when he took his time to go in the seat, look through the purse, and grab the phone. At the same time, it was like, bro, just like swing open the door, grab the purse, and go.
I don't know, man. They were all just so bland. Jesus Christ. Like David, I don't know. David to me was just giving a lot of like little bitch vibes. Like he just seemed like that guy who like not like a nice guy, but more of like a I don't even know, just like damn it, how do I explain this? He just I don't know. He's just someone I feel like I wouldn't really like converse with. Um
He
to
comes
me,
off as like who's not a nice guy, but he fakes being nice to like get you, if you know what I mean.
yeah, like he doesn't do like I, it's just no, yes, like he just comes off as that guy who who tries to be nice just because he knows that just because he knows that that that's what you want, you know what I mean? Like he'll only do things that he
Yeah,
knows you're gonna
he's
like.
not genuinely nice. He's opportunistically nice.
Yeah,
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 I said
yeah.
that right.
That's what he reminds me of. Mostly, honestly, just because of that point where he was, yelling at Corey about like, oh, we're just here because of you and blah blah blah. And it's like, I understand like Corey's an asshole, he's a douche, but it's like I don't know. I just feel like David just also doesn't put up much of a fight, Like he's just kind of like, oh, like he's very cowardly, pushed around very easily. Like I mean, even with Emily, he had to create like a chance just to go talk to her and I don't know. I don't like him. Like I don't know. He just gives me like weird vibes. But other than that, it's just like Because throughout like most of the movie, I feel like I mean, I was assuming he's probably he's supposed to be the protagonist. Like he was, the one trying to get out of there. But it's like I don't know. It was just kind of dumb because it's like at the end, he like I guess finally like you know gets his he finally after killing Emily, he's like done. He's like, man, fuck this, and so he creates that Molotov thing, and then and then he starts going after the killer, which I mean, I guess it makes sense, but it's like you couldn't have done that like earlier. I don't know. They were all just everybody in this movie was just so stupid. Like I don't and like none of these people are people that I would ever like speak with, I feel. And they all just seem like yeah, just really dumb and like I don't know if maybe it's just because we watch a lot of horror movies, but like you would just assume that they would have put their minds together instead of just like
I
no,
don't
let's
think it's
do
because we watch
this.
horror movies. I think it's because our fight or flight instincts are strong. Either we're running or we're fighting. Or we're gonna fight and then we're gonna run. We're just gonna stand there and just like take it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because no, Maria, we might be short, but we will fight if we have to.
That's true. I refuse to be a victim.
Like, right? And if I am gonna be a victim, like I'm at least getting a couple licks in before I go down. Like I'm gonna give before you get me fully, but I'm gonna give you something. I'm gonna be sure to scratch you to get some skin under my fingernails. Like I'm getting something out of this. You're not just gonna kill me in a cold ass ATM booth, and I damn sure ain't dying by breaking my goddamn neck. Like I'm not going out like this. Just the whole movie, like every decision they were making from the moment that man showed up was stupid. And I just spent the whole time yelling at my computer, like, do something. Do something. Like, any thoughts on David Tuan?
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I don't think I have anything more about David.
He
I
was
don't.
cute.
I'll pass.
Oh, wow. Wow.
I don't think he wasn't. He wasn't doing anything for me.
Well, with that being said, Tuan, give the people our very, very short behind the scenes facts and info.
Sure. So, ATM had a budget of $3 million and brought in a box office of 1 million. Some interesting info we found. The movie was shot in Canada in just 20 days and was also shot in sequence from something that I read as well. Danielle Panabaker was rumored for the lead female role, and also Margarita Leviva was originally casted before pulling out. The killer in this movie is wearing the exact same outfit as the killer from Urban Legend, and the map above the killer's desk at the end of the movie shows that they're in Rockford, Illinois. And this movie currently sits at a 12% on Rotten Tomatoes. That seems about right.
Well, we've come to the end. So, Maria, Tuan, do we cash or pass ATM? Maria.
I think we're all gonna pass on this movie.
We're all gonna pass.
I'm sorry.
It's not even a surprise.
Oh man.
This movie just gave nothing. It gave absolutely nothing. Besides Josh Peck, it gave me nothing. Like I don't even like. I'm glad I didn't even watch the full movie. Like I can't. I'm glad I don't. I did not waste an hour and like 40-ish minutes of my life. Like there are a lot of bad movies out there, and this is definitely one of them.
There are movies that we passed on that I will watch again before I watch this. Like any of those Friday the 13th or I would watch that movie with Michael Myers fucking his niece and impregnating her before I watch this. Like, I would I've rewatched Bones several times, and I would rewatch that again. It just there are movies that we've passed because like overall it's a bad movie, but it had like good things about it that makes me want to watch it again, even just like a little bit, even a little bit. Like I don't even want to watch YouTube videos about this movie ever again. Like I never want to have to like deal with this movie ever again. Like I don't want to watch a YouTube video, a kill count. I don't want to watch a breakdown. Like I completely pass on this. Like if this movie was a penny, I would still pass. You ain't getting a fucking cent out of me, literally. I mean, Tuan, I already know that you passed, but you want to give us a reason why you passed?
Yeah, I definitely would pass on this one. I think in general this is just it's giving me like very much a 2B movie because those movies are like there's something.
Tubi movie might be better than this. This is something going
Yeah, at
on.
least I might have been entertaining. I was just more so like pissed watching this one just because like they like I mentioned earlier, they were not like trying hard enough for me to like want to live. Like if you're in the situation something like this, like somebody's like coming after you and your friends, I just feel like you need to like fight, run, hide, kick, scream, whatever to like get out of it. But they were just staying in that like area, like, and I tend to like movies like this that like take place in like one location, like stuff like that. Um, I really like a movie like that is Panic Room. That's a good movie. They were in one location, like they were stuck inside like this. Well, stuck in like a sense, but like the mom and the daughter, they were like fighting to get out of there, do what they got
That's
to do.
that's the thing. There were stakes. You were hooked. It was the
Yes,
will they survive because they were actually fighting back.
yes, and they weren't doing that in this one, and I think that's what made me mad. Like they had so much us like space and opportunity, especially when we learned at the end that the killer would have never came in the actual vicinity of like the ATM till he wouldn't be on the cameras. So they even had like more space and opportunity to like get away or do something. Like yes, Josh ran out, or not Josh, Corey ran out and like got like stringed by that like rope or whatever. But I don't know. After I seen that and I saw that he got killed, I'll be like, okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna run and we're gonna crouch and we're gonna get out. Like I'm sorry to Corey, but we gotta go.
Or they could have. I would have. We would have picked up that dude's body and used it as a shield at that point. Like we gotta fuck it, you know.
Like something gotta go, but they weren't going, they weren't trying to live. I would have did something, I don't know, but they weren't trying hard enough for me, and I'm not nobody deserved to die, but I mean they weren't trying to live hard enough, so I guess they deserved it.
You know, before this rewatch, I had like a different view of this movie, and I always wondered why didn't they get this? Why didn't they get a sequel? The ending sets up sequels. I only remember the ending. No, like remember the ending as being like it sets up the like a bigger world. Rewatching, I'm like, oh, this is why I didn't get a sequel. This movie actually isn't good. Like
Yeah,
the
it just
idea of like what the man is doing after this is good, but the actual movie not good.
I mean, like, I get that it's terrifying to have someone like terrorize you while and not knowing the reason why, but it's just I feel like that was just clouded by the fact that all the fucking actor, like the characters were stupid. Like, I don't understand. Like, I don't know. It was just a lot of unrealistic things that they were doing that I feel like was just like it just
Josh
definitely
Peck is tall, and that blind guy looked muscular. Like they could have attacked him, and she could have ran and tried to get help, and they could have. It's
Plus, I'm sorry. I'm sure there were some weapons lying around, either in the car or in the ATM itself. Like definitely could have done something. I don't know. I don't know.
throw your jacket at him, and why are you trying to catch it? Hit him. I don't know.
Yeah.
Do something. Improvise. Throw your shoes at him. You are already cold. Be barefoot too. But whatever. We've come to the end of this very. I think this is like the worst movie we've watched so far. Like collectively, we all couldn't find not one. There's always at least one of us who can find something, But this is nothing. This is nothing. But next week there is something, because next week we're gonna be not reviewing. We're gonna be throwing out our predictions for the upcoming Scream 6. You know,
Excited.
do we think Sydney's gonna have a surprise cameo? Do we think Kirby's gonna be traumatic and killing people? Which, fingers crossed, I kind of hope for. You know, I've been saying that Ghostface needs to be a traumatized survivor. This could be it. So, but I have other theories. But you can hear those next week when we give our Scream predictions. Thanks for listening to us. Goodbye. The Haddonfield Horrors podcast is a Letters to Media production.
Should we do an intro?